morning, Year 3, and welcome to Thursday's lesson. So we're going to continue writing our poem today. Yesterday you wrote the first 2 verses of the poem, and you're writing about what a place was like before lockdown, describing it in quite a positive way and a happy way. Today you're going to write 2 verses about what your same setting is like, but during lockdown or after lockdown. And we're going to describe it in quite a sad way because it's changed completely. So if you decided to write about a park for your first 2 verses, you're not then going to change it to McDonald's for these 2 verses. You must choose the same place. So you'll start it by saying after in lockdown McDonald's, or after in lockdown birthday party, or after in lockdown swimming baths, I saw, or I noticed, or I observed, because instead of repeating the word saw all the time. And then you're going to talk about the 8 objects you talked about yesterday, but this time you're going to talk about them in a sad way. So if, for example, you did the park and you talked about the slide, the swings, the trampoline, then today you'll talk about the same things but in a sad way. So here I saw a lonely slide sulk, a gloomy trampoline tremble, and a grinning swing groan. Lonely and gloomy are adjectives. We've got slide sulk, trampoline tremble. This is alliteration. Then we've got the swing groan. Now groan is a verb, but it's a sad verb. It's also personification because it's something a person would do, but we're saying the object's doing it. Now the reason groan has been chosen is because you groan when you're unhappy. You don't groan when you are happy. You don't sulk when you're happy. You sulk when you're sad. So the verbs that have been chosen reflect the sadness of the park. Here as well, we've got the rope swing stares, the slide glares. This is personification. The slide can't glare and a rope swing can't stare, but I've given it a person's quality. If they're staring and glaring, this shows that they're not happy. Then we've got swing stares, that's alliteration. We've got some adjectives in here: soft yellow, thick frayed. So today you are going to use personification, which is where you use verbs to say that the objects are doing something that a person would do. Alliteration, where you've got the same letter for 2 different words. You want to create a sad mood, so you will do this with the adjectives and the verbs you choose. In the example I just showed you, the adjectives were lonely and gloomy. These are sad adjectives. I want you to include punctuation, and I would like you to include adjectives. So you might say after. So you start with after in lockdown park, or after in lockdown McDonald's, or after in lockdown school. So that's how you'd start it. Yesterday we started with before, now we're starting it with after. So you start after in lockdown park, and then you'd write about one of the objects and include stuff from here, then the next object, then the next object. So the first verse you're including 4 of the objects, then you leave a gap and write about the next 4 objects in the next verse. So you're talking about the same objects that you talked about yesterday, but this time you're creating sadness, because in lockdown things weren't being used how they usually were, or things have been a lot different. Now, if you need any help, you can message us on the blog. If not, I look forward to reading the second part of your poem.